Up next is Cucina Tagliani, located on North 59th Avenue and Bell Road in Glendale.
When you think about family and food, you know, the kitchen or the cucina is where you want to be. And Cucina Tagliani, that's where that came from. We wanted to make a very family-friendly, casual Italian restaurant. We cook everything from scratch every day. Every sauce, soup, stock, and dressing is made here every morning. We do everything the way they've done it for the last couple hundred years. It's more Americanized Italian food. You know, you really won't find meatballs and chicken parmesan when you go to Italy. So it's more like Chicago, New York. The core menu will always stay the same, but the seasonal menu will kind of fluctuate. And now we've added more sandwiches, and we've added some burgers and some wraps and some non-Italian foods, because you can't eat pasta every night, but we want you to eat in the restaurant every night. By far the most popular item is the chicken parmesan. We have a couple of unique sauces that are unique to us that you won't really find anywhere else, like our spicy sausage rigatoni. If we can get people in here one time to taste the food, they're hooked.
So John, this is your choice. Can you explain to our audience why you chose this particular restaurant?
When you go into the place, it's the decor is, I mean, it looks like an Italian place, very Tuscan. A lot of wine bottles around, a lot of greeneries and so forth.
When we walked in the restaurant, we saw the same thing, and you have the weathered brick and things like that, and it did feel like an old world Italian restaurant, which was very nice.
I don't like sitting usually in the table in the middle of the room. I like a booth, but we sat at a table and I was very comfortable there because of the surroundings. It kind of, you know, enveloped you, you know. Yeah, it was really nice.
And they had a bar area that when we first walked in, we remember seeing when they had bottles lining up the walls.
It's kind of a place that I like because I can kind of go there with just my wife, kind of a semi-romantic place, but then also they can facilitate large groups in that restaurant as well.
Those were exactly my thoughts. I was looking around thinking this would be a great place for an intimate date night dinner, or to bring, because we saw families around, and they were having a great time too. So it was very versatile.
Yeah, and a very spacious restaurant. The overall interior was very spacious, and they did have the soft Italian music to kind of take you back.
So let's talk about the food.
For an appetizer, we actually had the bruschetta, and it was, I could not put it down. It was so good, and they, not to mention, they bring out this basket of breadsticks. Oh boy, the breadsticks are amazing. They're like wedges of a French bread or an Italian roll, and it's butter and garlic and herbs, and it's just, if you can put those down and move on to the bruschetta. I also got the wedge salad, and that was iceberg. You know, it was just, it wasn't drenched and drowning in dressing. It was really nice, and it was delicious, of course. And for my entree, I created my own pasta bowl, which you can do, and I ended up getting the tortellini with a lemon garlic caper sauce. And it was unbelievable because, I added asparagus to it also, and it was light, and with the asparagus it made me feel like I was eating a little healthy, and it was very good. And then for dessert, I ended up having the Can't Decide. They actually have a Can't Decide dessert, which includes a chocolate mascarpone cake. It was all melt in your mouth, and it just was delicious. And then it also had the tiramisu, which also, you know, I've never met a tiramisu I didn't like. And then it had this other cheesecake, which was obviously very, very good.
We started off with having the artichoke dip. It came out, it wasn't very high in artichokes, but it's baked. It's kind of baked in a little dish of its own. And it comes with some of the bruschetta bread or toast with that, and also some pitas with that. And I thought it was very good. Then I had I want to try something different, so I tried the chicken dynamite. And it's penne pasta with chicken and then kind of a green chili, kind of spicy sauce on it, as well as some fresh vegetables in it. And it was pretty good. I don't think I would get that again. It just, I don't know, it didn't feel Italian enough to me. I know it had penny, yeah. But my friend that I took with me, he had the mama's plate, and it had veal, it had fettuccine Alfredo, and then lasagna. And I had some of his, and I mean, first of all, it was huge. I don't know if you guys saw about the portions.
Yeah, we got that too.
You got that?
Yeah,
Okay.
in addition,
It was
huge,
it
very
was
plentiful.
Huge. We then went to dessert, and we ordered the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It was a big chunk of spumoni ice cream, and then the chocolate mascarpone cake on top, and then a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. And they put a little chocolate sauce around it and so forth. And they kind of lean it just a bit so it looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Oh my goodness.
Our experience on the appetizer and entree weren't as positive, unfortunately. For an appetizer, we ordered the calamari fritte. The calamari was heavily deep fried to the point you really couldn't taste the flavor of the calamari. And we ended up, my wife and I didn't like it, gave it to the kids, and these kids who won't eat seafood ate all of it, and they like the fried flavor, so they were okay with it. For my entree, I ordered the chicken saltimbocca. It was a chicken breast that was pounded, so it was a thin chicken breast that was rolled with the prosciutto and with a cheese center. It's in a breadcrumb topping, and they had it sliced up over an angel hair pasta with marinara. And unfortunately, the chicken was very tough. The prosciutto was gray and didn't really have much flavor, very, very thin. And the angel hair was overcooked, and the sauce, it was pretty much drowned in the sauce and just did not suit my palate. The waitress was over immediately and said, "Oh, you know, is it okay?" I said, "Not so much." And she said, "Well, let me switch it out for you." So I went to the build your own, and I ended up getting a rigatoni with some goat cheese and sun-dried tomatoes and meat sauce, and that was actually very good. And what really saved the night actually was the chocolate mascarpone cake, which we had for dessert, which was served. They served it with fresh strawberries, and that hit the table, and everyone was really full because the portion sizes are so large, and that was devoured within a few seconds.
If you would like to try Cucina Tagliani, reservations are accepted, and the average tab for dinner without drinks is $20.